Hello and welcome back to another episode of True Crime Metrix. Tonight we are going to be looking at the double cross-examination of General Isom on the stand after Georgial, get the soap out of your mouth. After Georgia Kaplan. What did she do? Well, she just went through a load of lists and video, bus video, gym video. And she didn't really conclude. So I decided to skip ahead to the pretty dynamic cross-examinations, which we're going to witness. Georgia Kaplan's tactics. Let the two defendants, kind of put their big feet in their mouth, and she's going to come back with some redirect, okay? Good to see so many of you in the chat. Welcome to the chat space. Yeah, we had some exciting news today, guys. Someone over on our Discord server came up with a brand new word. Metrixisms. Metrixi. Metrix Susanna. Metrix apple pie. What is this guy on? Now, I have a new goal in life. I want to see that word in the dictionary. Webster's, Collins, Oxford. Let's get a definition and make that happen together. But for now, we are going to be sharing this screen right here with Honorable Judge Hankinson at the ready, on the desk. Look at him. Look at him. Where is he? There he is. Isn't he great? Doesn't he look like Adam West? Oh. Yeah, it's late here, guys. I think that was the worst intro ever. But let's just play the video.
Jury's in the courtroom.
He hasn't even got his shirt tucked in. He's got the top 8 buttons of his shirt undone and doesn't even have his shirt tucked in. We know you're retired now, General, but this is a courtroom, okay? Please.
Thank you, Judge. Please record. Okay. Okay.
Audio might need a little warming up, guys. I think the cameramen in this trial were terrible. They're always switching the microphones to the ambient mic or the lapel mic and everything like that. So let's just see how it goes. But it is on full volume.
Detective, do you remember the government showing you what was listed as State's Exhibit 82, which is a copy of the hybrid auto rental center contract?
Yes.
I may.
It's kind of funny with Mr. Hand Grenade here. Sigfredo Garcia's lawyer. That's who this is. His name isn't really Mr. Hand Grenade. It's Saam Zengeneh. But every time anyone says it, it just sounds like hand grenade to me. So that's what I call him. He's clearly the worst lawyer in the room. This judge, well, he was only with this judge, but this judge gets incredibly impatient with him. He's just like, what are you doing? Stop. Stop. No, we're not doing that. Move on. He's just completely out of his depth, but he's not that good of a lawyer, but he's also got this case where it's just like, what do you mean you plead not guilty? What is the point of this? We're just going to go through all the evidence and then everyone's going to see it was you. It's kind of like, but of course he can't act like that. He's got to go, yes, my client was seen running from the scene, but covered in blood. And you're saying he did it? Why? Weird questions he has.
Okay. Now, you agree with me that the top left-hand portion where... Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Is it on the monitors, everybody? Okay. So you were able to obtain this document from the actual auto rental center, correct?
Yes.
And in the top left-hand portion, the renter is Luis Rivera, is that correct?
Yes.
And he provides his home address, his date of birth, I'm sorry, not his date of birth, but his home address and his phone number on there, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, there's a portion for an additional driver, which suggests that if he was to rent this car, the company wanted to know if another person would be driving it, that's the portion.
Yeah, there's a portion. There's a portion for an additional driver. It's left blank. So he must have been alone, right? It says optional on the form, you dick. They don't care.
That he would fill out. Would you agree with me?
Yes, there's a place for additional driver, license number, etc.
And it's blank.
It is blank.
Now, we heard reference.
Yeah, it's blank. It says optional and then it's just left blank.
This is made back
Proof, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. Let him go. Let him go.
to something written in pen that says the word brother and then a phone number that you have asserted belongs to Sigfredo Garcia. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know if, well, let me ask you this. Do you know what conversations were had between Luis Rivera and the person that was working at Hybrid Auto Center prior to this being drafted on the document?
I do not.
Did you attempt to inquire from the person that worked at Hybrid Auto as to what the conversation took place to elicit this information?
I did not.
Did you?
Subscriber, yes, I did know. Well, I just found out. I've been busy today, but I just saw some information on the Discord server for True Crime Metrix about this, and I'll check it out soon. But I'm amazed. I just left a comment on the Discord to say I'm amazed that the court has not approved payment. Just said, listen, the court is going to pay for your private attorney who's going to be with you 24/7, do whatever you want to do. It's done. The bill is paid. You know, they do that in Florida. They did it for Michael Dunn. He spent all his money on the lawyer, ran out of money. The lawyer couldn't serve him anymore. The court paid. It happens. There's a couple of other cases I've heard about as well. It's not obviously usual, but there are conditions where that would be appropriate. And I think, as Udi was pointing out on the Discord, forcing Sarah into this self-representation pro se representation is dangerous. It leaves massive opportunity for her to have an appeal, possibly, and have her charges acquitted, even if she is convicted, which she almost certainly will be. It's going to be very interesting. I can probably see a postponement, a continuance. It's set for the 7th of October, October 7. But is it going to happen? Is it going to go on that date? It's going to be amazing if it does.
Yes.
I did not.
If anyone is planning to attend the Sarah Boone trial, by the way, let us know in the comments.
Here we have on the same exhibit a photograph of Luis Rivera's driver's license. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you see a picture of Sigfredo Garcia's driver's license on that piece of paper?
I do not.
But it does say friend's number with Luis, correct?
Can you push it up a little bit?
Yes. And that's the number, that's the same number as on the front page, correct?
Yes.
Do you know if this was, if there was any questions with regards to insurance, as to whether or not Mr. Rivera had insurance that elicited this response?
I do not.
Do you know if the person from the car rental place asked if there was a second phone number that they could contact Mr. Rivera with, and he gave this number?
I do not.
And this document indicated that they were supposed to return the vehicle on what day?
July 17th.
Were you part of the team that arrested Sigfredo Garcia?
Subscriber with the questions. Metrix, are your t-shirts 100% cotton? Also asking for my sexy lady friends, do you have V-neck styles? Okay, we'll do some V-neck styles. Let's write it down. Where's my notepad? V-neck styles. Yeah, we're getting that all. We're starting to get all this stuff together now, guys. Merch shops. I'm going to walk you through a couple of things in a little while. Let's just get this going. And then we'll come back to it when we have a little break. Maybe between cross-examinations, we'll have a little break. We'll do some admin. Leah, could they have done that for Darrell Brooks? Well, I don't know. That was he was insisting to go pro se, though. He wanted to represent himself, and the court was trying to talk him out of it. He was saying, look, they were saying, listen, you've got lawyers. They're there. Look at them. They're at your table now. They know what they're doing. They know the law. They know what they're doing. They know your case. And he was saying, no, I want to go pro se. So Sarah is wanting to not go pro se, and the court's saying she must. So it's kind of a different situation.
I was present. I had no involvement in his actual.
Thanks so much, C. Malone, for the super chat, super sticker. Very nice to see you, C. Malone. Thank you very much.
Physical arrest.
When they arrested Sigfredo Garcia, he had 2 phones on him, correct?
I don't recall 2 phones.
You don't recall 2 phones?
I do not.
Do you know who would have counted his phones?
Most likely Hollandale Beach.
And it's your testimony today that you don't recall a second cell phone being part of the.
Or twice.
See, this judge makes his own objections. Georgia didn't object there. This judge is like, you just asked that question. Move on. Okay? Move on.
A little bit more, but it is.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. Luis Rivera was already in federal custody when the arrest warrant was issued for Luis Rivera, is that correct?
Yes.
And were you able to ascertain through your law enforcement connections how many cell phones Luis Rivera had when he was arrested?
I don't recall. I don't remember that coming up.
Do you know what a burner phone is?
Yes.
You describe to the members of the jury what a burner phone is?
The burner phone is a secondary phone that's typically carried by people for nefarious reasons. And it's to keep their primary phone clean of any type of criminal activity.
And in your experience, or in the vast amount of experience, almost 3 decades of experience that you had as a law enforcement officer, would you agree with me that people that are professional criminals, like members of gangs, carry multiple phones?
Yes, most of the time.
And you'll agree with me now, I know you indicated that you don't recall if there was a second phone, but you'll agree with me that the only phone that your office, along with this investigation, pulled information from was the number that we saw on that car rental document for Sigfredo Garcia. Sure, no problem. The only phone that you guys pulled records of and determined activity was for Sigfredo Garcia was the one phone number that was listed on that car rental agreement?
Yes.
Thank you so much, lovely Leslie, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. That's appreciated. Hope you're having a pleasant evening.
And if it comes out that there's a second phone,
That's not a problem, question. I can tell from the start, that's the thing.
let me ask it this way.
May I adjust the light on that?
This cross-examination, like I said, Mr. Hand Grenade doesn't have much to work with, so he's just trying to find what he can. It's a bit like pulling teeth. But when Christopher DeCoste comes in to cross-examine General Isom on behalf of Katherine Magbanua, things get a little bit more punchy. So hang in there, guys.
Point right at us.
Okay, sure.
Let me ask it this way. If someone is known to have multiple phones in this type of investigation, would you have wanted to track both phones in your investigation?
If we had knowledge of more than one phone, yes.
And just to confirm, the only phones that were
Thanks, Ryan, man. Good to see you.
tracked in this investigation was one phone for Sigfredo Garcia, correct?
Yes.
And one phone for Luis Rivera, correct?
Yes.
During your investigation, did you find or
Hey, you know, yesterday's video, guys, that I did as a Sunday fun day, let's get off topic and not really do, we just looked at a piece of history that doesn't really mean anything anymore. When we're watching General Isom on the stand here, we're getting prepped for Donna's trial, right? We're reviewing the information. It's like revision night, you know? But when we looked at yesterday's video, those of you who were here, I just thought it'd be a few people in the stream and it wouldn't do too well on the numbers post because it's old news, but it blew up, man. We're on, I'll get that. We're on 2,222 it's had just since yesterday. I mean, that is not, we usually get maybe 1,500. So it just went up, man. A lot of likes too. Speaking of which, remember to like the video, guys. There's 45 people in the chat, but only 20 likes. What is going on?
locate a phone call between the number associated with Sigfredo Garcia and the number associated with Harvey Evans?
What was the second name? I'm sorry.
So, no problem. Did you find during your investigation any phone calls? Well, let me start it this way. You have the phone records, correct, Detective?
We had them, yes.
And you've done your due diligence and put yourself in a situation where you could educate these members of the jury with regards to the data on those cell phones
To an extent,
the
yes.
best you can.
Yes.
And you'll agree with me that communication between Sigfredo Garcia and any member of the Adelson family would be relevant in this case?
Yes.
So let me ask this. From the time you started your investigation, which I would assume backtracked 6 to 8.
Yeah, Leslie, I've seen all that, and that's really cool. It's like being called up to the majors. People are saying, what's your favorite true crime channel? And people are going, oh, Metrix. Sometimes. A lot of people haven't heard of us still, but, you know, we're there. And people see that and they go, hey, what's this? Everyone's talking about this guy. Funny.
8 months before the actual homicide?
But then there's those other people, and not many, right? It's like there's those other people. Sometimes they leave a comment, and really, there's only been about a handful, maybe two handfuls of comments that are like, "Oh, get to the point. What is this? I thought we were here to learn." And it's like, for those people, you are free to leave a dislike on the channel, okay, on the video, okay? We don't get many. I see the ratings. It's 100% down the board, across the line, 100, apart from the maybe 4 occasions where we've got 98.6% popularity. And I'm okay with that, you know. But I just imagine these people, they come to YouTube, they see a pretty attractive thumbnail, and they click on it thinking they're about to see the true crime show of their lives. And what do they get? They get the incessant ramblings of a madman, which some of you seem to like, and others, it's not their bag. And I understand that. That's fine. The world is big enough for us all, okay?
Don't believe it was that far back. I believe it was, as far as the phone.
Yes, sir.
Data, the 1st of May. 1st of May.
Okay. So we got May, June, and then the homicide occurred in July, correct? Mid-July?
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to find any phone calls between Sigfredo Garcia and Wendy Adelson?
No.
In addition to phone calls, did you look to see if there's any text messages or any kind of WhatsApps or any kind of electronic communication? Did you do that, sir?
We did that. I'm talking collectively, investigation-wise.
And as the lead detective, if there would have been a observation of that kind of communication, would you have been put on notice?
Yes.
So in addition to phone calls, did you find any other communication whatsoever between Sigfredo Garcia and Wendy Adelson? Phone calls, text messages, anything in any way, shape, or form?
No.
What about Sigfredo Garcia and the same, I don't want to keep going over all the details, but Sigfredo Garcia and Donna Adelson in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Sigfredo Garcia and Charlie Adelson in any way, shape, or form?
No.
And we do know that there was a substantial amount of communication between Sigfredo Garcia and Katie Magbanua because they have a child in common, correct? And a relationship.
Yes.
What about
Addy Zanone, I always look forward to having you here, my dear. Just because I love your name so much. A to Z, baby.
communication between Sigfredo Garcia and Harvey Adelson?
It was one communication event.
Do you have the specifics with regards to that call?
It was on July 1st of 2014, so it'd be 17 days.
If you want to, I'm sorry, Detective, if you want to get all the exact information, I'll let you recall that. I'll let you get that information to refresh your recollection.
He spends a lot of time refreshing his recollection, doesn't he? Like, I don't think General Isom does himself any favors on the stand, or does the state any favors, really, because he just has this expression when he's asked a question like, did Sigfredo Garcia have any phone contact with Donna Adelson in any way, shape, or form? And he's like, does that look good in front of a jury? Does that look like Pat Sanford, who's just like, you know, has got the whole case just printed on his scalp and can refer to any detail at the drop of a hat, right? He's like, no, I don't believe we had any communication between Sigfredo Garcia and Donna Adelson at any point in time. That sounds definitive. But General Isom's up here ruffling through his papers, looking to the sky, like trying to find the clue in his brain where the information is. It doesn't look that great. I know he's retired, but how old is he going to be in Donna's trial? It's coming up. 5 weeks. What is it? 4 weeks? 5 weeks? Man, talk about wishing the summer away.
have it.
It was on July 1st, 2014, sir.
Yes.
And can you tell the members of the jury what time that phone call was made?
July 1st, 2014, at 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time.
5:20, sir?
5:20 p.m.
And that went to Harvey Adelson's personal cell phone?
Yes.
Are you aware or do you know if the Adelson Dental Institute, if you call their number after 5 o'clock, it forwards directly to Harvey Adelson's cell phone?
I'm not aware of that.
If that took place in this case, would that record show that?
To my knowledge of phone records, it just shows the connection to this number, to his cell phone number.
What I'm asking you is, do you know if Sigfredo Garcia called the Adelson Institute, the Dental Institute, after 5 p.m. when their offices are closed, if the call was forwarded to Harvey Adelson's cell phone, would you be able to determine if the original call went to the Dental Institute or to Harvey Adelson's cell phone?
I'm not knowledgeable enough about that.
How long was the phone call?
Leslie, yeah, I know a couple of people from the Discord that have booked their hotel already in Tallahassee. And you know, they've been following this channel. They're really part of the community. And I'm thinking that I want to tell them to take a sign or something, you know, so when they read the verdict, they can just hold it up in court. It says True Crime Metrix, you know, or maybe just something like that. No, but yeah, people are going. People are definitely going.
It was short duration. My understanding is that there was the phone call went through, and it most likely went to voicemail.
Is there any way?
Oh, I'm sorry, Leslie. I didn't read the other half of your message. You booked your hotel room, but you're not convinced you're going. What do you mean? You want to pass on your hotel to someone else? If anyone needs a hotel room for the Donna Adelson trial, speak to Leslie in the comments, guys. If I read that right.
Way for you to determine if a voicemail was left?
I think you should just auction it off, Leslie. If you've already got a booking, it's hard to get bookings. You should give it to the highest bidder. You know, it's going to be, someone will take it. Someone will go.
Not to my knowledge.
Are there any calls back from Harvey Adelson's cell phone to Sigfredo Garcia after July 1st, 2014?
No.
See what I mean? Mr. Hand Grenade has nothing to work with at all. He could just say, did Sigfredo Garcia call anyone from the Adelson family? But no, he's got to go, so what about Harvey Adelson? Did he call him? And were there any calls between him and Donna? Now, let me ask you another question, Detective. Were there any calls between my client, Sigfredo Garcia, and Charles Adelson? Get on with it, man. And now I feel bad because this show is slow, but we are where we are.
During your investigation, I know that you indicated that you attempted to talk to certain members of the Adelson family, correct?
Yes.
Was Harvey Adelson one of the people that you attempted to talk to?
Yes.
Would the contents or the purpose, or would one of your questions have been, did Sigfredo Garcia leave you a message on your voicemail?
My attempt to interview Mr. and Mrs. Adelson was prior to not having this knowledge.
And when you gained this knowledge, they had already, in essence, indicated that they didn't wish to speak to you.
Hey Kim, I'm 7,000 miles away, and I was gonna go, but it's just way too much to organize, I think. And it's a bit more tricky for me. But anyway, next time, Wendy Adelson, I'm there, front and center.
They didn't indicate anything. They just never contacted me, and the next thing I know, they're on their way back to South Florida the next day,
Well, that's kind of what I inferred. That their action, I guess their actions spoke louder than words, right?
apparently.
The government showed you a Facebook.
I think there's only about 4 minutes left of this guy, of this slow, bad lawyer. So don't worry, guys, hang in there.
Business record for Tuto Dave, correct? A government's Exhibit 77.
Okay, yes.
Bless you. Is Facebook, does Facebook have the ability?
Bless you. And then Isom's looking at him like, what are you doing? Why are you blessing the person that just sneezed when you're in the middle of conducting your cross-examination in a murder trial? Bless you. Does that sound right? I wouldn't do that.
Facebook.
Just watch Isom's face when the lawyer says, bless you. It's a look of sheer disbelief.
Business record for Tuto Dave, correct? A government's Exhibit 77.
Okay, yes.
Bless you. Is Facebook, does Facebook have the ability to track their mobile users, to your knowledge?
I have no idea.
Did you inquire if Facebook has the ability to track their users?
I did not.
At any point, did you read the contract that you have to make with Facebook when you agree to be a participant as a member of Facebook?
No.
Give me 1 second, Judge.
Remember, guys, Sigfredo Garcia is just over there on the table watching this, watching his attorney try to save him from forever in jail. And he must be looking at him going, man, this is not going well. What's that appellate lawyer? That appellate lawyer, we're going to need his number. We're going to get him on the phone and tell him that after the verdict to book 3 weeks.
I have no further questions of this witness with the, I reserve the right to recall him as I know the government will do.
Magbanua.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're going to do a bit of Christopher DeCoste. I'm not going to take a break now, guys, because I feel like we just took our break, okay? But we will be having a short break coming up, maybe on the hour, top of the hour, too sweet to be sour. Let's do a bit of Christopher DeCoste. Let's get a bit punchy, Miami punchy. I know you like that, Christina. Yeah, he's a bit more fast paced. He's a bit more Miami Beach, Miami Fly. I know he's from Boston, but the law office is in Miami.
I want to bring your attention back to July 18, 2014. Shooting happens. You're brought onto the case, correct?
Yes.
You testify that the call went in around 11 o'clock to 911.
Yes,
Now, as the lead investigator on this case, correct me if I'm wrong, it would be your goal to keep it quiet, meaning that it's not going to go out to the media for two different reasons. Am I correct so far that you'd want to keep it quiet?
would the actual homicide, keep the homicide quiet?
Correct.
It's impossible these days. I wouldn't even attempt to think that would happen.
There's a shooting on Trescott Drive. You want to make sure that loved ones don't find out through the media, right?
We'd want to get to them as soon as possible, yes.
It's also important for you, for your investigation, that it remains quiet.
Yes,
You testified how later that day you went to Mosaic, you found Wendy Adelson. You then brought her to the state.
I really love how Christopher DeCoste makes anything sound sinister. It's also important to you that it remains quiet while you look for the killer, isn't it, detective?
And interviewed her, right?
yes,
And you were the one that informed her that Dan Markel had been shot
yes,
and that he may not make it.
yes,
Prior to that, that information wasn't shared with any family members or any media outlets.
correct.
And in fact, during that interview, she was communicating with other people. People were calling her, but nobody appeared to know anything about what had happened at the house.
Yes,
I'm correct on that, right?
yes,
And it wasn't until late afternoon, early evening, that word finally got out about what happened on Trescott Drive. Am I correct in that?
I don't know when it got, I was too busy to even know, but eventually it did, yes.
But it definitely wasn't around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock that the information was widely known about the shooting on Trescott Drive.
To my knowledge, no, not that early.
And again, you were the lead investigator.
Yes,
See, what Christopher DeCoste has just done is he's get a list of things that he knows that Isom doesn't know, and he's going to ask them, and then follow it up with the question, and you were the lead investigator on this case, and you didn't know when it got out to the media? You know, with the hope that the jury's going to go, ooh, law enforcement don't know what they're doing.
I want to turn your attention now to the big book that we have.
The big book.
Block this out, blind myself. Investigator, I'm handing you State 75. How many pages is that again?
575, if I remember correctly.
Does any one of those pages talk about Katherine Magbanua being involved in a conspiracy to kill Dan Markel?
In this book,
Correct.
can you repeat the question, please?
Is there anything in there about Katherine Magbanua being involved in the death of Dan Markel?
No,
Correct me if I'm wrong, the paperwork in that book spans from roughly September of 2012 all the way up until July of 2014, right?
yes,
Just want to make sure that a big piece of evidence doesn't talk about my client at all. Just want to make sure that that's clear. That's clear, right?
yes, because my understanding this is all prior to the homicide.
Didn't you testify in direct examination how there were pleadings that were filed right before the homicide, but how that hearing never happened because of the homicide?
Correct,
And that's in that book, right?
yes,
So that would be right before the homicide,
up until,
July of 2000.
correct.
You know what this is?
Yes,
This is a diagram that was put together by the Tallahassee Police Department during the investigation, right?
yes,
And you know that because you were the lead investigator on the investigation.
correct.
And it fairly inaccurate reports it's the same or substantially the same condition it was when you last saw it.
It appears.
Use this as a demonstrative.
Objection.
No, sir.
Investigator, if you could explain to the jury what this is.
These are individual photos of parties associated in this case. Understand?
Yeah, stand over there.
The upper, oh,
I can be your phone if you can talk.
upper left-hand corner is a photograph of Wendy Adelson. To the right of her, the next picture over is her mother, Donna Adelson. One more over. The next one over is a photograph of
I kind of want this thing on my wall, you know. It's so iconic now. This poster and the pictures, you know. Look at Katie, all smiley, smiley, smiley.
Wendy's brother, Charlie Adelson. All the way over to the far right is a photograph of Harvey Adelson, her father. Where the
Hey, Dog Mama. I'm glad you're here too. Good to see you.
larger photo down on the left is Daniel Markel, the victim in this case. The next photo to upper right of him is Sigfredo Garcia, defendant in this case. Next photo over to the right is co-defendant Katherine Magbanua. And then the bottom photograph is Luis Rivera.
Leah says, so that's who Wendy was flirting with. I posted a picture of her looking at someone in that dress and wondered who she was flirting with and had to be sick Friddle. Sigfredo. I think you mean Sigfredo. No, I think it was John Lauro, her lawyer. You know, she was looking to her left and John was sitting right next to her.
Try to see if I can make sense of this.
Well, Christopher is here to make sense of it for us, guys. He's going to lay it all out, this ugly bag of snakes. He's going to straighten them all out now. Watch.
You can take a seat. Can you read photographs? Take a look at those.
Yeah, Cam says this case and the characters have the earmarkings for a Netflix documentary. Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that, you know. Yes, I would like to see it. And if they make a movie or a series about this case, I'm obviously going to watch it. But I know that the actual case is so much better than whatever a produced story could make. But it would be kind of cool. Sometimes I see it in my mind. I just start creating it in my mind where it's like Wendy's morning, Wendy's big day, right? I was playing it all out in my mind this morning where it's just like, you know, she wakes up and all of these elements that have to be done in her day to get into that interrogation room and then get out. And if you really think about everything she did, it is a lot to take on. It is a big task. I don't think anybody in this chat could pull it off. Or me. You know, it's crazy what she did. And she gets a real buzz out of it. You know, it's just enormous. The magnitude of all of the tiny little actions. I've got to be there. I've got to do this. I've got to send those emails. I've got to go to the lunch. I've got to get the bourbon. I've got to, it all has to be done. So it's just crazy. I can see a really good scene. The opening scene is just Wendy's morning, and it looks like just a normal woman going around her routine, right? But later you start to see what she was doing and the little things she was doing. It could be really cinematic and great, but it will never be as good as this. Look what they did with Chris Watts' case. That was terrible with the movie they made, and the Jodi Arias one, that was terrible. Is there a good one where they've made a movie of a case and it was better than the case? I don't know.
You know what those are, right?
Hey, thanks, Dog Mama, for the super chat and for your kind message. And your kind message to the community. We have a great community. You're absolutely right. It's fantastic here.
Images that were on the board.
Again, the purpose of the question here is I'm trying to find your working theory of the case during your investigation, okay?
Yes.
It's like he's going to do Find the Lady.
Who's that?
Daniel Markel.
Daniel Markel was married to who?
Wendy Adelson.
Yeah. Do you believe that Wendy Adelson was involved?
Do I
I'm
believe
going
that
to
she?
object, Judge, as to his opinion.
Let's go sidebar, please.
I'd have objected to that as well. What's that got to do with it? Do you believe Wendy Adelson was involved? Can we hear the sidebar? No.
Is that correct? Now, Wendy's father is who?
Harvey Adelson.
Is this Harvey Adelson?
Yes.
And who's Harvey married to?
Donna Adelson.
You see this from there?
That is her.
They have any other children?
Yes.
Is one of them Charles Adelson?
Yes.
Is this Charles Adelson?
Yes.
No, Rabbit. I'd be in the sequel, right? I'd be in the sequel. There'll be another movie about all the podcasters.
Now, your belief is that the way that Charles Adelson gets all the way around to Dan Markel is through Katherine Magbanua, right?
Yes.
And the connection that's made is in between Sigfredo Garcia and Charles Adelson through Katherine Magbanua, right?
Yes.
And Sigfredo Garcia as his longtime friend, Luis Rivera.
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to object to the characterization of long-time friend with no facts and evidence at this point to substantiate that relationship.
I'll sustain that objection. Jury disregard the last comment.
Where these four people right now.
Objection. Relevance.
I'll sustain the objection as to where they are.
Has Charles Adelson ever been arrested?
Objection.
Overruled.
I'll ask it again. Has Charles Adelson ever been arrested in association with this case?
No.
What about Don Adelson?
No.
Harvey Adelson?
No.
Wendy Adelson?
No.
They remain free.
To my knowledge.
The question. Go ahead, move on.
As an investigator, or when you were an investigator, would you agree with me that it was your job to objectively investigate a case
Absolutely.
and present all of that objective evidence over to the state attorney's office to make their decisions?
Yes.
And you did that in this case.
Yes.
Change gears, talk about police reports. It is normal for an investigator to put together reports while they're investigating a case, right?
Yes.
In fact, you have a stack of them in front of you.
Yes.
Now, you did that during this case. You drafted reports, right?
Yes.
Comprehensive reports.
Yes.
In fact, around September of 2014, you did about a 31-page report.
That would be,
September 30th?
I have, of which year? Excuse me?
2014. Let me withdraw the previous question and ask you this one. Did you draft a report in September of 2014?
No.
One brief moment. Move forward to 2016. Did you draft a report July of 2016?
Yes.
31-page report
Yes.
laying out your theory of the case?
I believe that is in that supplemental report that I completed.
Do you not remember?
I remember the theory, I just don't know which document it was in.
So my question is, do you not remember whether it's in that report? Because my next question would be, if you have it in front of you, take a look. Let us know if taking a look at it would refresh your recollection. I'll ask you the question again.
I don't see it in that particular report, but if you're inquiring about the theory of the murder, I do have a document in front of me that shows that.
I'm talking about the report that you have from July 12, 2016. Is Katherine Magbanua mentioned in that 31-page report multiple times?
Yes, she is mentioned.
As being the conduit between the Adelson family and Sigfredo and Luis Rivera, right?
I don't see that particular statement in this report, but it has been mentioned before. I just don't know which document it's in.
Fair enough. So in other reports, in PC affidavits, which,
Sure.
correct me if I'm wrong, are probable cause affidavits,
Correct.
that it's explained in there that the
Oh, sorry, that was on mute. I said, "Hey, the two. Good to see you. How you doing?" I put it on mute because I'm eating these nuts, and sometimes people get in touch with me. They say, "Hey, Metrix, we really love the show, but we can't listen to you eat." And I have been trying to do that very quietly, but it would annoy me too, so I mute it now. Isn't that the best for us all?
Tallahassee Police Department's view was that Katherine Magbanua was and this is a conduit.
Sure.
Now, as an investigator, you know that these reports are then sent over to the state attorney's office, and should anybody be arrested, are given over to the defense as discovery, right?
Yes.
These reports and this information that you have were drafted, again, summer, early fall of 2016.
Rabbit says the jury are currently beginning to hate this lawyer. I think the jury are falling asleep. I completely misremembered this video, guys. Sorry, it may have been a bad choice. Please don't judge us by this. It's the content, you know. It is not what I remembered it to be. Maybe we should put it on double time or 1.25. Should we try that? How do we do that? Let's see how that goes.
When you began drafting them.
Okay.
Do you agree? Yes?
Yes, that's when they were drafted.
Let's turn now to Luis Rivera. Luis Rivera was arrested middle of 2016, correct?
Yes.
He was looking at the death penalty.
I'm not familiar with that part of it.
You had no idea whether he was looking at the death penalty or not?
No idea.
He was arrested for first-degree murder.
Yes.
You've dealt with murder cases before.
Yes.
You know that first-degree murder carries with it the potential of the death penalty.
Potential, yes.
Would it surprise you to learn? Withdrawn. Withdrawn. Mr. Rivera eventually cooperates, right?
Yes.
On September 30th of 2016, yourself, somebody from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and others sit down with Luis Rivera and get his testimony, right?
Yes.
The following day, I'm forgetting if there's 31 days in September, but on October 1st, which I think is the following day, Ms. Magbanua is arrested.
Yes.
You have no way of knowing whether Luis Rivera was just regurgitating what you had written in your reports as to what you thought the theory of the case was, right?
I have no way of knowing what he had access to at that point.
You had written a report, right?
Yes.
You know that those reports are handed over in discovery, right?
Yes.
No way for you to know whether he's telling the truth or not.
No.
Speaking of his words,
Christina, you really love that, don't you? I say it all the time in my daily life. People look at me like I'm fucking mental. You know, I'll be driving, and if I want the driver to go faster, I'll say, listen, let's go. Punchy, punchy, Miami punchy.
on October 4th, a few days later, so again, you meet with him on September 30th. The following day, Ms. Magbanua was arrested.
The subscriber says, Metrix, my favorite nut is the pistachios. What kind of nuts are you eating? Well, it's mixed nuts. I've got cashew, wall, what is that? Brazil, and peanut.
arrested. And then on October 4th, you sit down with him again. It's yourself, Special Agent Patrick Sanford, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and others sit down with him and his attorney at the Jefferson County Jail. Is that right? And you guys do it.
Yeah, one of our viewers, I think it was Victoria Girl BC, said to me the other day, Metrix, having a great time listening to your show and making Dubai pistachio chocolate, which sounded great. Doesn't that sound great? Dubai pistachio chocolate. Well, they have the best pistachios in the world, so I hear.
A couple hour long recorded statement with him, right?
Yes.
But you had met with him on September 30th.
Yes.
That was the first time that you went through this big interview with him, right?
Yes.
You didn't record it.
No.
But you could have.
Yes.
In fact, you had a camera on you that day.
I believe so. Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right after that, you got into a van with Luis Rivera, and he drove you around Tallahassee, and you recorded him taking you around Tallahassee.
Yes.
You could have recorded him. On September 30th, when you had the first interview with him, you could have recorded it.
Correct.
In fact, you don't even need his permission to do it.
Correct.
Because you're law enforcement, you have the right to surreptitiously record somebody.
Yes.
We have no way here in this courtroom today to view Luis Rivera's words on September 30th and point out the inconsistencies with his other statements, do we?
Not to my knowledge.
Because we don't have a recording.
I documented a report, but no, there is no recording of the first.
You know, say what you want about Christopher DeCoste, but if you think about how he compares to Daniel Rashbaum, this guy is a million miles better. He's actually very good. I don't know, you know, if he was in Miami, fast-paced Miami, he'd do very well. But in Tallahassee, I think they don't warm to him, you know. They warm to General Isom because they're all familiar with him from the annual pig race.
Interview with him on September 30th.
You didn't take it down like a court reporter here, did you? Word for word?
No.
No. You gave your opinion of what you thought he was saying.
No, I stated the facts as I knew them, not an opinion per se.
Hey, Rabbit, I don't think I've ever tried pistachio ice cream. Anytime I go out for ice cream, which isn't very often, someone will ask me, what do you want? I'll say vanilla. And they look at me like I'm boring. You know, it's like, I like vanilla. It tastes clean. But I'd give the pistachio ice cream a go, sure, Rabbit.
At that point in time when you were talking to him, you already had a theory that you believed applied to this case, right?
I had a theory it could have been broken up, but it wasn't after I talked to him.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Nothing changed after I talked to him. Nothing changed as far as the theory, as you mentioned earlier.
You've seen his other statements, right? You were there on October 4th.
Right.
When he gave grossly different facts.
Objection. This isn't-
Wow, Leslie is our resident ice cream expert in the house. I don't even know the difference between that, Leslie. It's kind of a light yellow. Man, you know that the trial's not going well if the jury and all of the people in the chat are just like, let's talk about ice cream now. Fuck this. Rocky Road. How about sorbet? The two. Do you like sorbet? Would you prefer to have lemon sorbet, mango sorbet, or blackcurrant?
October 1st. Yourself and Special Agent Patrick Sanford go to South Florida, right?
Yes.
You're there to arrest Miss Magbanua,
Yes.
but you're not alone, right?
No.
Yourself and about 10 to 15 other law enforcement went to go arrest her, right?
I don't recall the number.
Yeah, salted caramel gelato, Leslie. Damn straight. That can't go wrong at all. That's a taste sensation.
They were already there when we got there. Sanford and I were riding together in the same car.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at your deposition to know how many people were present for her arrest?
I don't know how many people were present.
Would it refresh your recollection to
Sure.
take a look at your depo?
Yeah, Neaty, I'm only vanilla with the ice cream. Don't panic.
Read lines 4 through 10. Let me know if that helps you remember.
Okay.
That help your memory?
Yes.
10 to 15?
Yes.
Now those 10 to 15 law enforcement, they were in multiple cars, right?
Yes.
Guns drawn, right?
I don't remember guns drawn.
10 to 15 cars to arrest Katherine Magbanua. Is that where we are in this story? I've just got ice cream on the brain now. Brain freeze. 10 to 15 cop cars to arrest Katherine Magbanua in a white, what is it? Mazda. Or was she in the Lexus? And she pissed herself, didn't she, during the arrests? And wouldn't you? 10 to 15 carloads of cops come with automatic weapons in your face. That would be, make you nervous.
Would it refresh your recollection? Take a look at your depo again. 73, 17 through 19.
Mr. DeCoste, can you give us that citation?
Page 73, line 17 through 19. You take a look at line 17 through 19. Let me know if that helps your memory.
Okay.
That help your memory?
Yes.
Guns are
Wow. The two's really got a thing against anything that comes in a cone or a cup. No sorbet either, Metrix. Chocolate or wine. If you take me for a cone or shake, I'd actually pass. Should I phone someone for help? Okay, well, how about frozen yogurt? Can we do frozen yogurt?
drawn, right?
There was some guns drawn.
10 to 15 law enforcement is sending on Miss Magbanua. This woman, right?
She was the target of the arrest. Yes.
So scared she urinated herself.
Yes.
The reason why you and Special Agent Patrick Sanford were in South Florida was you were hoping she'd cooperate, right?
Yes.
Objection.
Overruled, not a timely objection.
You were hoping she'd cooperate.
Asked and
I
answered.
sustain the objection.
If she were to have cooperated,
I sustain the objection.
Gareth, we can go sidebar.
We don't need to go sidebar, move on.
There's actually a Ben and Jerry's flavor called Garcia, isn't there? Cherry Garcia. Like Sigfredo. That'd be good. You know, we've been talking a lot about these business ideas, guys, the board game and everything. But what about a range of ice cream flavors for all the main players in the case? What could we do with Markel? Adelson. Can we do anything with that? Let's get some ice cream flavors that relate to people in the case going on in the chat, guys.
Part of your theory eventually comes to life when Luis Rivera flips, right?
Yes.
Violent gang leader, right?
Yes.
You hesitated there.
I don't recall what level, or I know he was.
Well, Investigator Isom, you believe he's involved in a murder, right?
Yes.
That'd be violent, right?
Yes.
You also believe that he's in a gang, right?
From the accounts that I read, yes.
Violent gang leader.
Yes.
Before Luis Rivera gave his testimony, you agree with me that there was not enough, that the consensus between your department and this office was that there was not enough to arrest Ms. Magbanua.
Objection. Calls for an opinion. Improper question.
Sustain.
Before Luis Rivera cooperated, was Ms. Magbanua arrested?
No.
How many hours after he cooperated was she arrested? 24, give or take?
24.
Now, you believe that there was other evidence against Ms. Magbanua, right?
Yes.
That you say that you objectively investigated.
Yes.
But isn't it true that you left this circumstantial evidence arguably inculpatory by not investigating it?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
During the course of your investigation, you go to a medical office in South Florida in the hopes of getting medical records for Ms. Magbanua, right?
For Miss Magbanua.
Eventually,
Hey, Tay, what does that mean? Use a 50-50 blend for the T-shirts. Blend of what? Yeah, you'll have to explain, Tay. But thanks for the advice.
I think that was a question for Ms.
I want to
Magbanua.
clarify your question to me. I'm saying, you're asking me about medical records pertaining to her?
Let me re-ask the question. You were trying to get medical records for a breast augmentation that she had, right?
Yes.
You eventually get those records.
Yes.
You find out that it was paid for in part between a debit card for a small portion and cash, right?
Yes.
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
You need me to re-ask the question?
He answered it, move on.
No evidence that it ties to anybody else in your theory, right?
The medical records that we obtained?
No, the fact that she paid cash for a breast augmentation.
Correct.
Man, what a bummer this stream has been. This has been so uninteresting to comment on. Has anyone got any ideas for what we could do instead? What's a good thing about the case to look at? Yeah, come on, some of you long-time listeners. Give us some ideas. What's a good one? A testimony, an interview? We could switch the case. The floor is open, guys. I'm bailing on this examination of Isom. It's terrible. It's boring. I might not even put this stream up, like for the on demand. It's great to have a chat with you guys in the comments about ice cream. But I think people come into the show in on demand. They're going to be like, what is this? What is this? Oh, Luis Rivera. Maybe. We could just go and do a bit of Wendy's interview. Lewis's testimony. As much as I kind of like listening to him, it still is quite bland. Yeah, because it's just questions that are telling the story. What about a closing argument? I'm trying to think on my feet. I'll tell you what. While we're coming up with something, I'll share this with you guys. We have 2 more states, okay? So we got Vermont on our last stream, and today we picked up Rhode Island. And I thought you guys might want to know a bit of trivia, because some of you will know, some of you won't know. But I got asked this question in the comments the other day. Why the fuck is Rhode Island called Rhode Island? Because it's not an island or a road. And I knew this. I knew the answer to this question, strangely, because I think it was on a pub quiz years ago or something. And I always remembered it. So it's called Rhode Island because, let me think. When the land that is now the state of Rhode Island was originally named, the soil, there was a lot of red clay in the soil, but outside of what is now Rhode Island, the soil was just normal. So if you looked, it looks like red soil, a red soil island in a brown soil sea, right? And the guy that named it was a Dutch explorer, and road means red in Dutch. That's it. It's that simple. And when they named the state later, they just said, we'll call it Rhode Island. And we'll just change the spelling to more English, because island in Dutch is like Iglet or something. I don't know. Rode Iglet. That's what it was. How about that? Yeah, but now we've only got 8 states to go. So if someone out there is in Delaware, West Virginia, Iowa, North Dakota, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, or Hawaii, let us know in the comments, guys, if you're still watching this terrible stream that shouldn't even go on the library. What else can we see? A lot of people have been asking in the comments, Metrix, how do we sign up for a membership? Well, how do we do that? How do we do that? We go to the channel page, right? Just go right over to the channel page like this. Oh, I still don't have the freaking thing. Well, there's a button and it says join. It says it on this page. It doesn't say it for me because I'm logged in and I'm already joined. But there's a big button down here and it says join. You click that button and you become a member. It's that simple. You can see everything on the memberships, the different things we get. And under each video, there's also a button. Every video, there's a button. It says join. I think it should say memberships. That might be a bit clearer, but I don't have any control over that. That's YouTube. And check out this bit of exciting news, guys. Today, because we also have memberships on buymeacoffee.com, right? And today we got a new membership. Someone signed up to become a lifetime member. See? So there it is. It's Buy Me a Coffee membership. You click there. There's lots of different membership packages there to become a member. But someone signed up for this package. Look. What's their name? Let's get their name and give them a special mention because it's a $500 package. I couldn't believe it. And what a big thank you I need to send to that person. I mean, I already have, but also want to say thank you in the stream. Yeah. Averill Mayer. Averill Mayer is now a lifelong member and gave us a fantastic donation as a contribution to the show, and we'll be able to get some fantastic equipment to make our streams better. We're talking microphones, we're talking lights, we're talking all those great things, webcams. We've got so much great content coming out that we're going to even be able to do it with a better camera, right? And not just my face, but other stuff too. It's going to be fantastic. Also, guys, we finally got our Patreon. So all these links are in the description for this video, guys, and on all our videos. But also, I'll just show you, because I do genuinely, I'm not just saying this to make a pitch. Oh, I need to sign out of here. How do I sign out of here? Log out. Yeah, I'm not just saying this to make a pitch. I get asked all the time in the comments, where's the memberships? How do we sign up for memberships? Well, here they are. There's 3 membership packages on Patreon. Oh my God, this thing. Yeah, there's Addicted, Obsessed, and Possessed. Little names we borrowed from one of our resident commenters, Neverly Darling. Oh my God, this friggin' thing. Anyway, link in the description. If you want to become a member to True Crime Metrix and get some extra stuff, the options are there. There's buymeacoffee.com memberships, Patreon memberships, YouTube memberships. You can send support to the channel with the super thanks, super like, super sticker, super chat, all that usual stuff, or send us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. You don't have to. You can if you want. We really appreciate the support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's good enough for us. And just you being here is good enough for me. I really love the chat. I really love all you guys coming into the chat and having a great time and talking amongst yourselves, talking to me. Discord as well. Discord has been a riot lately, guys. Honestly, anyone who's not in Discord is missing out on the time of their lives. It's like a super slumber party every day. It's fantastic, and a lot of good ideas get. Shall we have a look at the Discord? Oh, don't leave the stream. Let's have a quick look at the Discord. Again, free. This is totally free, guys. Link in the description. You just click the link and you're in. That's it. Is that showing? Yeah, so we've got these different rooms, different chat rooms. We've got Adelson's Anonymous for all you addicts out there. Adelson's Anonymous, right? And we talk about the cases, we discuss ideas, and we actually develop a lot of new theories here. It's very interesting. And it's also fun and cheeky and lots of good things like that, right? So yeah, all good stuff. Now back to the chat. What are we watching, guys? What am I putting on? Let me just see if anyone's put any good ideas here. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Good to see you, Kurt. We've had a bit of a bum show today, so you haven't missed much. We put on the double cross-examination of General Isom. In my mind, as I remembered it, it was really good and kind of engaging and exciting, and it was just totally flat. Totally flat, you know. You win some, lose some. I think we've been winning most at the moment. I was really surprised how popular yesterday's video was, but it was quite good. It was very good. I don't know about Luis Rivera, Rabbit. I think it's going to be kind of the same as this. I want to go for something with a bit of energy. Bit of energy. Did someone say Sarah Boone has been in court today? Was there an appearance? Should we watch that? I haven't watched that at all, so that'd be like a fresh watch. Or we'll just go and have a look on YouTube, see if we can find anything. Or it might be an early night, guys, if we can't think of anything. Don't want to take up everyone's time. Oh, here's the video, but it's like 2 hours long. That's a lot. We'll have to do a special one on that. How about Stephanie Lazarus? All right, Leslie. Maybe we'll put on a bit of Sarah. Has anyone seen it? Is it good or is it long? Because We just had a really long one. I mean, I don't mean long in, I know it's 2 hours, but you know what I mean? Like, has it got a good pace? Or maybe we should just cut it off there, guys. It's 2 a.m. for me. 2 a.m. Bit of a short stream, but hey. Oh, now I'm going to be bored.
Am I deluding myself or others if I smile and laugh through the pain of a terrible time? Danny used to tell me that everyone thought I was such a
Oh, yes, jail calls. Who said that? Leslie. Fantastic. That's why you're here, Leslie. Jail calls. Why didn't I think of that? Yes, jail calls. Charlie. We're just going to have some jail calls at random, guys. I don't even care which one.
in his jacket. And as soon as he reached for a gun, he pulled out his gun and he shot him like 8 or 9 times. He's like, one of the last shot was in his head. And Tallahassee, they made her up to be a liar. Happening, it's just like nobody's story. I'm giving my stuff away here, thinking like I was feeling so. I didn't even feel like I was in jail. I was just like in a zone. You know, mentally, I was like, it's like I just this part of this song is that with everything that was done, not one person out of 12.
Was Dan heading back today?
Yeah.
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 I haven't called him on the phone with you all day very much.
I love how Dan is telling him, like, because Charlie's looking at Dan saying, okay, they just gave me a life sentence with no parole, so what are we going to do now? And Dan's looking at him like, well, you know, get an appellate lawyer, but don't spend too much money, you know, because, you know, you're going to make a life for yourself in here, and they're very expensive, the appellate lawyers, and there's probably not much likelihood that it will work. So it'll give you something to do while you adjust to your new life, you know, focus on the case. But yeah, Dan's like, yeah, is Dan sticking around or is he driving back? Yeah, he's driving back. Yeah, he's driving back. Fucking yeah, he's gonna stop at every what would he stop at? I don't know, every mall on the way, do a bit of shopping.
I just
Nope.
like, you know, so to think like, okay, you're gonna get the appeal, you're gonna win the appeal, you're gonna get a new trial, you're gonna get a change of venue with a new trial. Like, do you see the surface?
What is he on? Yeah, we'll win the appeal and we'll get a new trial and we'll get a change of venue with the new trial. And then the judge will just give me a blowjob in court. And you know, it's like, what are you talking about, man?
It was just there now. It'll be there, but more when you get a new trial.
Not a change in venue, Tony. It won't be the same. It won't be the same. Will there be media? Of course.
Yeah, no, we don't want any media. No media. Smaller courtroom. We need a tiny, tiny courtroom for the new trial at a change of venue.
Yeah.
Be the same. It will not.
Maybe we will get a change in venue. You know, I mean, but like, listen, if these people flat out told the judge, like, I can be fair, I can, like Dan said, because I don't think the jurors were honest.
I'd love to hear Dan Rashbaum in court talking to the judge like he talks to the judge and saying, Your Honor, we petitioned the court for a change of venue. We've filed a motion to have the trial held in the small cupboard under the stairs. Okay? Because of the media attention in this case, my client, Donna Edelson, cannot have her constitutional right will be robbed to a fair trial if she cannot have it held in the small cupboard under the stairs.
They sat down. Like, we got rid of the ones that were honest. Listen, you only know what someone tells you. You know, you say they don't know about the case, but they don't know about the case, yeah. I mean, if you sure wanted to be buddies with each other and give each other their cell phone numbers after the case, you must realize it's a high-profile case. Is that why they wanted to get on? I can't imagine jurors wanting to, like, keep in contact with other jurors. Like, if you have a friend who has to put their number, but, like, have a group chat. They know what this entails. They were part of something big in Tallahassee and the story to tell. The jurors that are on national TV talking about the story, their experience. And it's long exactly what I thought it would be. Exactly. You ever feel something in your bones? Like, I know it sounds crazy when I'm talking.
No, it's not.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever felt that? Like,
Yeah,
have a
sometimes.
feeling like you have a feeling in your bones.
Feeling in your bones, you know, is that code? What is bones? What is bones code for? I mean, he's telling her to run, right? He's saying, you better run, like I was trying to do. But everyone said to me, oh, Charlie, listen, if you go and pull this off, and we'll put some real fucking ammunition behind this, Charlie. We're going to get Josh Dubin. We're going to get the best lawyer in America, Daniel Rashbaum, all 4 feet of him to come in and win this. It's a sure thing. Dan says it's a sure thing, Charlie, especially if we get Josh Dubin to come in and select a jury of liars.
I could feel it in my bones. Like, I felt it in my gut. Like, when Jack Christy Crawford was visiting Miami and she was telling me about what a big deal it was in Tallahassee and took pictures with me and, like, her friends up in Tallahassee. And I was like, you know, weird vibe. She's around people with money, and her dad ran for governor, and, like, she's around the in circle of people. Like, for her to be making such a big deal about this, telling me how big it is making me sick. Because as she spoke, it made me feel like she's making such a big deal about it. Like, this is the biggest thing up there. So, like, when we finally get Adelson up there,
Yeah.
in my bones, I was thinking, like, I won't stand a chance in hell. I won't stand a chance in hell. And these people are not going to stop. They're going to give us a dog going after a bone.
Now he's talking about a dog going after your bone. He can feel it in his bones, and the dog is going after his bones. And what this bones thing has got to be a the code. What is it? Like in Cockney rhyming slang, the dog and bone is your phone, right? So is he? Maybe they should have done the whole rhyme, the whole plan in Cockney rhyming slang. You guys probably don't know what that is, do you? But it's true. That's what London gangsters way back when used to talk about things in this code, and they didn't know what it was. Like whistle and flute is suit, apples and pears is stairs, butcher's hook is have a look. There's loads of them. There's a whole language of stuff that doesn't make sense, and it's still common today.
That's what it's going to be. This is crazy. Like, what am I hanging around for? You know,
I'm sure they're
what am I? You know, I literally felt like I was looking at it. I mean, look, I went so far that time to say, look, what was going to end up in North Carolina? Like, we're walking up there. Let me paint the picture for you of what it's going to look like. And this wasn't, I was doing that, came over the house that night.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to, I'm going to have a rule for myself. If it gets past a certain hour, guys, there shouldn't be a stream. I'm not on form, and the videos aren't on form. It's a terrible show. Sorry. We will be back. We will be back.
You remember? Like, and then we walked, and then we stopped like halfway between my house, the farm store, and the middle of the street. I was like, let me lay down. This is exactly what I see transpire. This is exactly how it's going to go down. So, and to top it off, don't be in North Carolina. And he said, no.
Oh, thanks for saying that, Leslie. But it's way below par. Way below par. I'm better than this.
7 months. You know, then I came in here, it was taking 6-7 months, and then somehow, you remember when I first came in and you were like,
Thank you, Dog Mama and Kurt and everybody. Yeah, I think we'll all say good night, guys. I think we'll all say good night. This isn't going anywhere. There's no format, there's no structure, and I'm all over the place. But it's 2:30 in the morning, you know. We didn't start until 1:45. That's too late. That's too late. And it's been hot here. So we will see you soon, guys. Okay. Are we going to be on tomorrow? Got to come up with something now. Can't have 2 bad shows in a row. Maybe we'll be on tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Or maybe I'll do some on-demand content. Yeah, good night, everybody. Good night, good night. And all you Discord crazies, I'll be there for a bit because I'm wide awake still. I just don't think I should stream anymore. All right? Take it easy, guys. Don't be an idiot. Be kind to each other. And lots of love to you all.